Thank you for jumping on. Match day -1, press conference with Ben Olsen. Ben, just previewing the match for tomorrow against RSL. Just your thoughts.
We leave today and looking forward to a tough match against a team that so far this year has been pretty impressive, playing and doing some different things that they haven't done in the past. So we've gotten a few games in us to watch them and find out their strengths and weaknesses. But they've got some good young talent, some experience, set piece ability. They're dynamic. A lot of man orientation. So we'll have our hands full. It's never the easiest place to go, but it's it was nice to get the 3 points here in LA, and we're looking to continue our road form.
All right, start with questions. Herman, you go ahead.
Hey Ben, just want to ask you, how's Los Angeles? I know it's a lot of games here in a short period of time, and good planification by the team to stay in LA and fly out to Utah here. So how's LA?
Well, no surprise, the weather's perfect, and it is the South Bay where we're staying is very nice. We cannot complain about where we're staying and being on the road. But we stay the extra day. We prefer to go into market one day before anywhere we go. It's more of a business trip in that way. So we got a good training session this morning there at the LA facility, and now we'll be off. But everything's been good. It's given us a base to kind of recover with the 2 days in between this match and the next match and the next match. We obviously have to think about utilizing as many guys as possible to maximize energy and make sure we can get through this stretch. So it's been a little bit of a puzzle, but I think it's starting to show itself.
And one of those questions on the puzzle is how's Eric Bianchenko? I know he was questionable last game. Just wondering how he's doing.
He is getting there. He's getting there, and we're still evaluating everything here for the next couple games.
Good deal. And my last one, I didn't get a chance to hop on before LAFC. Just on a personal aspect, how does the Olsen household celebrate Mother's Day, given that the game was on Mother's Day, And you're on a business trip now, couldn't do it afterwards, so.
Yeah. I put the kids in charge. I made sure when I was leaving, my daughter's 16. No, she's 17 now. So, I put her in charge. I slipped her some money and said good luck. And they did a good job. They handled it in the right way.
Good deal. Thanks, Coach. Best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go with Alex Parra.
First of all, Coach, good afternoon. Can you hear me okay?
Gotcha, Alex.
Coach, catching up with things. First of all, happy birthday, belated to you. If I'm not mistaken,
wow.
We won't say the date. It's my father's birthday, so I will now remember it forever. I didn't know that prior to this year, but happy birthday, Coach.
49.
Wow.
Yeah.
You look great, Coach.
I appreciate it. I feel like 49, whatever that means.
Oh, wait till you get to your 50s,
Yeah,
Coach.
right.
But you're doing great.
Thanks.
Coach, thank you, sir. After the statement went, I'll call it, at LA, and it was emphatic, and to me it was everything coming together. It gives you a boost of confidence. I think it makes you think, look, listen, if we can get all the ingredients together, we're headed in the right direction. How do you now take this short term into tomorrow in against our Real Salt Lake, and then a little bit further here to finish out the month of May? Have you thought about it in those terms, Coach?
Well, a little bit, but not much. I think right now we're in this stretch here, this little gauntlet that, it's not necessarily. Yes, form comes into play, and us starting to hone in on exactly who we are and the best version of ourselves. But this is also just about the collective and how we deal with the next 4 games with 2 days in between the next 3. So that becomes that's where we're consumed with, and making sure that everybody's ready physically and mentally to help us through this stretch, to grab as many points as possible in the league and advance in the Open Cup. So that's where a lot of time and energy is spent right now. And of course, within that, we're preparing for each team and putting a lot of focus on the next, on the opposition that's right in front of us. But yes, looking ahead and figuring this puzzle out until the break is it's been tricky, but everybody's dealing with it. Everybody's dealing with a little bit of a crazy schedule because of the Sunday game and us in the Open Cup on Tuesday. We're, again, dealing with that maybe a little bit more than most.
Coach, you spoke a little bit about the structure that you're finally finding those maybe best 11 per se, keeping flexibility, knowing there's injuries, knowing things are changing, many games, but is the structure, and also from my perspective, Coach, it wasn't just the players, which is a huge part. I think your team came really prepared for this last match on Sunday. To me, and again, a layman's view into the coaches and the preparation, it really all came together really well against LAFC.
Well, I would,
know that's in the past.
Yeah, I would say the last 2 games were I think you can say that about the last 2 games. And I think that's really important. At some point, we are starting to find who we are. Now, that doesn't mean we're not going to adapt still to the opponent and for the profiles or the players that we have available. We've put a lot of different things on their plate throughout the year. So we're going to still draw on that. We're going to still shift in a bunch of different ways and be adaptable. And I think hopefully we're going to benefit from all of that before these last 2 games, where I think we're starting to see exactly what our best group is and the best structure. So we'll see. It's going to be, as I said, they're going to come fast and furious here, and we're going to need everybody, and we're going to need to be able to be resilient and adapt.
And you've done very well. Coach, I won't take much more of your time. Good luck tomorrow, and we'll see you back in
Thanks,
Houston,
Alex.
sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, Dustin.
Hey, Ben. Just wanted to ask you about Jack. Now we got to talk to him after the game, after you, and he mentioned about how the World Cup is on his mind, but he wants to do well for Houston because that's his main thing. As a guy who got to play in a World Cup, being his coach, how do you, kind of rein him in there to, wanting to do so well, but also, play at his best?
Well, if he does his job for us and has success in the way he did the other night, they're not different. They don't. That's what you do, and if you do well there, they notice you. So it's not like he needs to do anything different with us to put him in a better light with the national team. He's in a position to have success in our team. And we've always highlighted him as a player that needs to produce and be on the ball and have assists and goals, and we put him in those situations. So if he's playing well for us, he's playing well for the people that are watching, that have with the national team, and understanding those are some of the qualities that they're going to be looking for in Jack. Right? Is Jack necessarily a starter for the national team? I probably not. In the first day of the World Cup, but he can help that team. And games like this show some of his ability to change games and get on the score sheet and produce big-time moments that can help him. So I'm a fan, obviously. I would love to see him be a part of that. But all he can control, and all I could have controlled down the stretch, is doing the best I can for my club team. And right now he's in good form. He had the little knock with the groin, and that took him back. But now that was the first game I saw him. He's back. He's fully ready to roll.
And just talking about RSL, I know you guys have changed a little bit, adapted tactically and stuff. You look at RSL, you mentioned they're a little different than they've been. What have you seen with Pablo, a guy that you know so well?
Yeah, I got a lot of love for him. I've talked about that every time we've ever played him, both as a person, coach, big fan. So they're doing some different things, and this man orientation, this really pressing structure that they've gotten real fruit out of this. They've got some really fun young talent, which they haven't had. I think in the past, I think at times they've been more defensive than they have been, or more, a little bit more pragmatic on the defensive end. But this is a fun team. He's got them going. I know they're not, they've had a few hiccups here recently, but they are, the few games I've seen, it's been fun. They're producing a lot of moments, high XG, a lot of chances, and they've got a few young guys that are really, I think, doing a great job for themselves.
Thanks, man.
All right, Sullivan, you can go.
How important is crowd rotation right now with the busy schedule?
I think it's going to be important, Selvin, in whether it's next game, Saturday, and Tuesday. Again, you add up the game on the Sunday, and then you add a Tuesday Open Cup, which again I still don't understand why it's on Tuesday. It gives you 2 days in between the next 3 games, and that's not ideal. But that just means you have to lean on the depth, and you got to make sure everybody's buying into this. And again, it can be a beautiful thing if everybody's contributing and you're grabbing some points and you're having some success. Our depth, fortunately, has been battle tested, and they've played a lot of minutes. And so throughout this, whatever game, what are we, 12 games? Through these 12 games and some of the Open Cups, there's been a lot of guys with minutes so far, so more so than usual. So as we rely on depth and mix lineups up, there's a lot of guys that are familiar with what we're trying to do here and should be up to speed.
Last question: what areas still needs to be improved this side? Besides the strong start that happened on Sunday.
I think we need to continue with some of the defensive form that we're in right now, and we always want to get better and sustain possessions and how we build the game or how clear we are on when we go direct. Finishing attacks continue to be cleaner there and figure out, have a real good balance of fast transitions, slow transitions, and also sustained possessions, and kind of finding that right balance. So we got a lot of work to do still, but it's been nice to grab some points as we go.